Welcome everyone. In this class we'll start with the biomacromolecules. We have already studied about biomicromolecules in our previous videos. We'll start with this biomacromolecules, and one such biomacromolecule is protein. One such biomacromolecule is a protein. Protein is a biomacromolecule. Why? Because it has a molecular weight of more than 10,000 Dalton, and this protein we find it in the acid insoluble pool. We find it in the retentate. Okay, now coming to this proteins. Proteins are nothing but they are polypeptides. Proteins are polypeptides. Why they are called as polypeptides? Here actually proteins are nothing but these are the polymers of amino acids. These proteins are the polymers of amino acid. How come? Let us see this. This is one amino acid. Okay, one amino acid combines with another amino acid with another amino acid. So like this, a long chain of amino acids. A long chain of amino acid is called as polymer of amino acid. Long chain is nothing but polymer. Long chain is nothing but it is a polymer. So this long chain is made up of small units. So these one amino acid. So these amino acids are joined together. Okay, these small amino acids are joined together, make a very large chain or very large polymer. So we call this polymer as protein. Okay, so this is one monomer, small unit. It is a monomer. This is one monomer. Small monomer units are combining. Okay, so here this is one monomer. All three of them are combining and forming a chain. So I have just only three as of now. So like this, many will be there. Many pens will combine together and form a very large chain of pens. So this is one monomer. All these monomers combine together and make a very large chain. So that large chain of these monomers is called as a polymer. It is called as polymer. So here protein is nothing but it is a polymer of amino acids. You suppose this one red pen as amino acid 1. You suppose this black pen as amino acid 2. You suppose this blue pen as amino acid 3. So these amine, this is one monomer. So amino acid 1, amino acid 2, amino acid 3, amino acid 4, amino acid 5, amino acid 6, amino acid 7. So like this, a long chain of amino acid is formed. So which is nothing but polymer, and that long chain of polymer or the long chain of amino acid is called as protein. So like this, it is a long chain of amino acid. This long chain of amino acid is called as protein. It is called as protein, which is nothing but it is a polymer of amino acid. Polymer is nothing but long chain of small units. Okay, so the small units are nothing but amino acids here. These amino acids, which are the monomers for proteins, they join together and form a long chain which is called as protein, which is nothing but protein. So here I said you they are joined together. How they are joined? They are joined together by a peptide bond. Okay, so these two are joined together by a peptide bond. These two are joined together by a peptide bond. So like this, many peptide bonds are there. Many means poly. We can even say another word which we use for many is poly. Poly, which bond is there? Peptide bonds. Many peptide bonds, that is polypeptides. So we say proteins are polypeptides because these amino acids are joined by many polypeptide, many peptide chains, many peptide bonds. Not chains, these amino acids are joined by peptide bonds. Many amino acids, many peptide bonds. So we call it as also polypeptide. We call it as polypeptide. So proteins are polypeptides, we can say, or we can say proteins are the polymers of amino acid. One thing which we have to remember is the proteins are heteropolymers. The proteins are heteropolymer. What do you mean by heteropolymer? Homopolymer means a long chain which is made up of same unit. For example, if there is amino acid 1, if there is amino acid 1, so amino acid 1, amino acid 1, amino acid 1, amino acid 1, a long chain of same unit, same that is same monomer. If we find a long chain of same monomer, same, that is amino acid 1, amino acid 1, amino acid 1, same amino acid, that is same type of amino acid is combining and forming a large chain. This is called as homopolymer. Homo means same. Same monomer is combining and forming a large polymer. So this is called as homopolymer. But proteins are not homopolymers. Proteins are heteropolymers. Proteins are heteropolymers, that is they are made up of different amino acids, not just one amino acid. So we can say amino acid 1 plus amino acid 2 plus amino acid 3 plus amino acid 4. Different amino acids are joined together and make a very large chain. So that is why we call the protein as heteropolymer. We call protein as heteropolymer, that is it is made up of different amino acid. That long chain of amino acid is not the same amino acid. Different amino acids are joining together to form a large chain of a polymer of amino acid, which is nothing but a protein. Now here I said you protein. For example, this is one amino acid. This is one amino acid. This is another amino acid. This is another amino acid. So here what happens? Here amino acid we have already seen. Amino acid consists of a carbon. To this 4 carbon, 4 groups are there. That is carboxylic group is there. A hydrogen group is there, a amino group is there, and R group is there. This is the structure of amino acid. Okay, this is the structure of amino acid. The R will be different. The R will be different. So if R will be different. If R is H, it will be one amino acid. If R is CH2, it will be another amino acid. So depending on the R. So here this is one amino acid. It has a amino group, it has a carboxylic group, it has a hydrogen, and it has a R group. So this is one amino acid. So this one amino acid, when it combines with another amino acid, so this is also one another amino acid. So here it is also amino group. Here I have written NH3. Now here this is N, this is H3. Same, this is also NH3. So this is carbon, this is carbon. So we have hydrogen, we have hydrogen. We have R group, here R2 will be there. So here if R is H, if I write, here if R is H, here R2 will be CH2, because R2 will be different. R2 will not be the same. Okay. So this is R and this is the carboxylic group, C double bond O. So here what happens? So these two will combine. These two amino acid will combine. How they will be combined? They combine by making the peptide bond. What happens? How this peptide bond is formed? How the peptide bond is formed? So here what happens is loss of water molecule take place. A water molecule is removed. A water molecule is removed. Okay. So now this. Here what has been removed? You just see, we have this one, C double bond O is there. So this O has been removed and this H has been removed, H has been removed. So in the form of H2O, in the form of water, that is a water molecule has been removed, and instead of, by the removal of this water molecule, a bond is formed between the carbon and nitrogen. That bond is called as peptide bond. That bond is called as peptide bond. So this peptide bond is formed and a water molecule has been removed. So here this amino acid is joined with this another amino acid. So this is one amino acid, this is another amino acid. Both of them are joining. How they are joining? This water is removed and a bond is formed. Instead of this, a bond is formed with the removal of this water. So here, so like this is one bond is there. Another amino acid will join and form another bond. So like this bonds will be formed, continuous, a long chain will be formed. This is only two amino acids are joined. So to this another amino acid will join, to this another amino acid will join, and one more molecule of water will be removed, one more peptide will be formed, peptide bond. So like this a continuous chain will be formed. A continuous chain of amino acid will be formed, which is nothing but the protein. So I said you, in proteins what happens? Two amino acids join together. Amino acids join together by the peptide bond. So this is how. This is one, that the two will be combining. So like this many will combine with the help of the peptide bonds. So this is how we get the proteins from amino acids. Small amino acids will combine and form a very large chain of protein. Okay. With the addition of each amino acid, one water will be released and one peptide bond will be formed. Now coming to this proteins, this amino acids, I said you we have 21 amino acids. The proteins which we find in our body, so those proteins are made up of 21 amino acids. Out of that 21 amino acids, so here 9 amino acids are called as essential amino acids. 9 amino acids are called as essential amino acids and 12 amino acids are called as non-essential. In our body proteins are present, so those proteins are made up of 21 amino acids. So the proteins in our body are made up of 21 amino acids. Out of that 21 amino acids, 9 amino acids are essential and 12 amino acids are non-essential. Now why is this essential and non-essential? So here these are non-essential. 12 are non-essential. Why they are non-essential to our body? Because our body is capable of producing these amino acids. Our body is capable of producing these amino acids. That is why we doesn't require these amino acids from outside. Our body itself can make it. There is no need to take it from outside because our body is capable of producing it. So that is why these are called as non-essential amino acids. They are not required by the body. Why? From outside. I said you, they are required for the formation of proteins, but we does not need to take these amino acids from outside. From outside in the sense we need to, that is food we take. These amino acids, that is amino acids, here these are called as the essential amino acids. Why? These are called as the essential amino acids. Why? Because they are not produced by our body. Inside our body, these amino acids are not produced. We have to take this amino acid from diet, from our diet. These can be taken from dietary proteins. These amino acids can be taken from dietary proteins. Okay, so now dietary proteins, in the sense, in the diet proteins are present. The food which we eat consists of proteins. The food which we eat consists of proteins also. So here now in that food which we eat, these will be present. These will not be produced by our body. When we eat the food, then only we can get these amino acids. So that is why we say that these are the essential amino acids, because for making of proteins which are required for our body, we require these amino acids. We require these 9 amino acids. Why? Because they cannot be produced by our body. We have to take this in the form of food. So the food which we take will be consisting of these amino acids. So when we eat the food, the body will get that food. When the body gets that food, then the body also gets the amino acid, and by taking those amino acids from the food, the proteins will be produced by our body, and these we doesn't need to take because these are already produced by our body. So here we have 12 non-essential amino acid and 9 are essential amino acids. So these are 21 amino acids are required for the formation of proteins. The proteins which are to be formed in our body will be consisting of these 21 amino acids. So these are the different names. Here in non-essential, alanine is there, arginine, aspartic acid, cysteine, glutamic acid, glutamine, glycine, proline, serine, triosine, asparagine, cellulose-cysteine. These are the 12 non-essential amino acids which will be produced by our body, and here histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, valine. These are the 9 amino acids which are not produced by our body. We have to take it in the form of food. We have to take from the food material which we eat. Now coming to the functions of proteins. So the protein will be helping in cell repair and cell tissue, that is cells. For the formation of cell and for the formation of tissue, we require proteins. Why do we require protein? One such use of protein is for the formation of cell and for the formation of tissue, for the repair of tissue, proteins are required. Okay, and protein, hemoglobin, it is also a protein. Here proteins are required for the carrying of oxygen. Hemoglobin is a protein. Hemoglobin is a protein. Globin part, this protein which is helpful in the carrying of oxygen. If hemoglobin, if this protein is not present, then oxygen cannot be supplied to the body. If hemoglobin is there, then only the oxygen will combine with the hemoglobin and circulate in the whole body. If no hemoglobin, that is no protein, no oxygen will be that is circulated. When oxygen is not circulated, the organism cannot survive. So here, so this protein helps in the carrying of oxygen. So protein also helps in the building of our muscles. Muscles will be there. So if we want to build the muscles, then we have to eat the proteins should be present. The proteins are the only ones which will be helping in the body building. So it also, protein also helps in the maintenance of weight control. It also helps in the maintenance of weight control. It helps in the formation of enzymes. We know how enzymes are very essential. Enzymes are nothing but they are made up of proteins. These enzymes helps in digestion. For example, trypsin. Trypsin is an enzyme. It is made up of protein only. It helps in digestion. It helps in digestion of It helps in digestion. So if there is no protein is not there, trypsin cannot be formed. If trypsin cannot be formed, then digestion will not be proper. So proteins will be helping in digestion by formation of enzymes, by making the enzymes. So proteins also helps in the making of hormones. Hormones are formed by proteins only, and these hormones have a very important role in the growth of our body. In the growth of our body, hormones have a very important role, and for this formation of hormones by our body should have proteins. So this protein help in the formation of enzymes, this protein helps in the formation of hormones. Both of them have a very strong impact on the growth of our body. So these hormones, and this helps in the digestion. It also helps, protein also helps in the formation in fighting with the diseases. Proteins are, that is antibody, it is a protein. Antibody, it is nothing but a protein, and that protein helps in fighting with the diseases. Antibody is a protein which helps in fighting with the diseases. It helps in our defense mechanism. So protein helps in formation of enzyme, protein helps in hormones formation, protein helps in our defense mechanism by fighting with the diseases. Okay, and proteins, those receptors, the sensory organs, the eyes, the nose, the skin, they have sensory receptors. So those sensory receptors help in the sensing the outside atmosphere, sensing the outside atmosphere. So those sensory receptors are also nothing but proteins. And here this GLUT4, it is a type of protein. It is a type of protein only. So this protein helps in this transport of glucose. It enables glucose transport in the cells. The cells will be entering into the glucose will be entering into the cells with the help of this protein GLUT4. Then we have collagen. It is present in the sub cells which found this ground tissue. So collagen is a protein. It is a most abundant protein which is found in the animal cells, animal tissues. And here Rubisco is also a protein. It is the most abundant protein. It is present in the plants. So these are the various functions which are performed by the proteins. We said that proteins are very, very essential for performing these functions. And how are proteins formed? By the combination of different amino acids with the help of a peptide bond. So out of that amino acids, 9 are essential amino acids and 12 are non-essential amino acids. So in the next class we will see in detail about the structure of proteins. What are the different structures of proteins we will see in the next video.